The state executive order numbers, no, I'm sorry, yes. 71, some board members are participating by electronic means. Before I call the meeting to order, I'm going to take attendance to record members that are attending. Annette Buchanan.
Hey, there's something wrong with the sound.
Oh, we can hear you.
There's something wrong with the sound.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you go.
Really? Do it again.
Yeah, do it again.
No, not any better.
Make that noise again, Annette. We can't hear you. Mitch looks like he's in a good mood, don't he?
Not sure what it is, man. There's no wind blowing on it. We're good there.
There you
It sounds like you're fast forwarding it. Oh, hello, Mitch.
Okay. In between this meeting, I'll see what I can do.
It just sounds like you're constantly fast forwarding.
Okay, we gotta go on roll while we're working on that, Annette. Mike Masters. Here. Chad Flainer.
I'll go off and rejoin and see what happens.
Keith Irvin. Hey. Mary Beth Dellinger. We see you, we can't hear you, Miss Dellinger. She's saying something, but she ain't unmuted. Mitch Meredith. Does lip reading count?
He slipped.
Whitney Riddle. Here. Dr. Flannery can't actually hear them, but we see them.
Unmuted.
Supposed to be able to see them and hear them both.
Hold on.
See?
Mary Beth, will you unmute your mic? David Hammonds. He's muted too. Mitch, say here.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't working.
Get choked.
That's gotta be a net. That sounds like a net,
Yeah.
Oh,
doesn't
that's it.
She gave a good impression, though. That was exactly what it sounded like.
it? It is really.
Mr. Meredith, talk again.
Well, we heard him technically.
All right, I'm gonna end the meeting, and I'm gonna send y'all another invite.
I wonder if Miss Dellinger thinks the closer she gets to the screen, the more we can hear.
She should hear them. She should hear how they're sounding.
You ever talk to somebody like that, though? They talk real loud, they think you can understand them better. I used to have this old guy. Well, of course, we had a lot of Hispanic guys working. And he was about 80.
Hold on, please. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Payment for that.
Okay, I'm gonna run for, one more time, I'm gonna run down this attendance, I think would be proper. Do you think so, Mr. Flannery? And I hope everybody can hear. I was getting a lot of texts, but I think we got it worked out, I hope. Under the provisions of State Executive Order Number 71, some board members are participating by electronic means. Before I call the meeting to order, I'm going to take attendance to record the members that are attending. Annette Buchanan. Unmute, please. Can you unmute her?
No, yeah,
Ms. Buchanan?
but-
She's good.
How
Yeah,
about,
she's not on the screen.
yeah, she just went on. All right, Mike Masters,
Here.
Chad Fleener. Here. Keith Urban. Here. Mary Beth Dellinger,
Here,
Mitch Meredith,
Here.
David Hammonds,
Here.
Whitney Riddle.
Here.
Okay. So I have to go from there. All right. Now,
There's Annette.
oh, Miss Buchanan. Say here. We got to hear you.
I can't hear what you are saying.
Okay, just say here.
Oh, just say here, I
Yeah.
got that part. Here.
Okay. All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna call this meeting, Washington County Board of Education meeting to order. And if we could, Mr. Masters, would you lead us in the pledge?
Sure.
After a moment of silence, of course.
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Now then, excuse me just a second. Okay. I need a motion to consider Governor Lee's Executive Order Number 71.
So moved.
Second, okay. Any discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Mr. Masters?
Yes.
Mr. Riddle?
Yes.
Mr. Irvin? Miss Buchanan? Miss Dellinger? Miss Dellinger? Mr. Fleener?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hammond?
Yes.
Mr. Meredith?
Yes.
Miss Dellinger? Miss Buchanan? Mr. Day?
Yes. That's enough to carry it anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mary
Okay.
Beth, can you hear Jennifer?
I don't think so, Mitch.
Hopefully she got a speaker.
Okay, next thing we're talking about is review and consideration of school operation status. And I have, do you want to read them or would you like me to?
Go ahead.
This is, okay, Dr. Flannery had sent me this today and they met with the curriculum supervisors this morning, at which time they developed the following recommendations. Number one, the school board will monitor the county and the school system quarantine and infection rates between January 4th, 21 and January 14th of 21. That data will be provided daily by the superintendent. Number 2, if the quarantine infection rates decline applicably over time, the school board will entertain an action allowing the students pre-K to 4 to return to school on a 50% staggered schedule on January 1, 1921.
January 19th.
You're right.
Yes, sir. Number 3, the school board will continue to monitor the county and school system quarantine and infection rates until their workshop the week prior to 2/4/21, February the 4th of 21. The workshop would likely be held on either 1/26/21 or 1/28/21. Number 4, if the quarantine infection rates are applicable range, the school board will entertain an action allowing all students pre-K to 12 to return to school on a 50% staggered schedule on 2/8/21.
On what date, sir? I'm sorry.
The last one would be returned to a 50% staggered schedule on February the 8th of 21. Now, do we have, that's it on that. Questions, conversation? Anybody like to, yes, Mr. Fleener?
Dr. Flannery, these, what is a acceptable rate to return on January the 19th?
I know this is frustrating, but I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, it was declining for several days. It spiked again today. I can give you some numbers. I would say that if it continues to decline as steeply as it did last week, then you could consider it. But with the spike the way it's been in the last day or two, if I can find it, our internal infection rate went down. We actually went down from 71 to 63 since I sent you that information last week, and we're down to 369 quarantines, which is way down over a period of time. And the county numbers have just declined precipitously until the last day or two. So I know it's frustrating, but like I've said so many times, I'm not that kind of doctor. I'm sorry.
What is our 14-day average? Do you have that?
Yes, sir. Our 14-day average is 109.9 over the last 14 days.
What's our 7-day average?
It 90.9, so it's under 100, and it was over 100 for so long. So that's actually a good improvement.
So would we be, should we set a, say 50 on the 7-day range for this to happen on January 19th? Or
Kelly, you want to weigh in? You're the medical person here.
Honestly, it's hard to say what specific number.
Aren't they saying that it's gonna spike back up
Yeah, they are.
10 days after Christmas?
So the Christmas spike ought to hit about, the Christmas spike ought to hit about the middle of January, they say. And that's just what the medical people are saying, and that's more of a guess
Yeah.
than anything else.
Anybody else?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'm just curious, has the Department of Education, State Department of Education, or State Commissioner given any insight on
None.
what the governor hopes to do on the 19th?
I was on a WebEx with the commissioner an hour ago, and they didn't say a word.
Because we've been, I'm going to be devil's advocate here. We've been out of school, been doing the virtual learning, and it seems like the county numbers just keep going up. And I know that's probably due to the holidays, but I just didn't know what his plans were. If he's wanting the legislator to make a decision, or if,
You mean
but
the
you said
commissioner?
no insight whatsoever from the State Department.
No,
So.
the commissioner didn't mention any plans at all, and they had a medical doctor with the state health department on the same call an hour ago, and he didn't say anything about it. All they wanted to talk about was the vaccinations and how rapidly they could get that distributed.
So in other words, just passing the buck. I think what the other states that have done successfully is the state's been consistent across those states that have succeeded. That bringing their numbers down, but anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Mr. Chairman, about the best thing I can tell you is most area school systems are going to try to go back to some form of in-person instruction right after the Monday Martin Luther King holiday. But they're all kind of hedging their bets unless, the infection rates. And that's all we've got to go on.
I think within 2 weeks from now, we'll see the trend. It's either gonna trend up or down, and we'll see the numbers move. And I think that 2-week period will give us time to see what's gonna happen.
I think you're right.
I think that's what you need a motion, is that a motion?
Yeah, let's see, is she on the phone? Or somebody want to say something?
Does somebody want to call Ms. Dellinger and put her on speaker?
I'm listening.
Your call has been forwarded.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now, Mary
Yeah.
Beth.
Get closer to the
Okay,
screen.
good, yeah, I can hear you too, I'm good. Not,
Hey. Okay, we got you on. Did you want to say something?
Well, no, you just need to catch me up.
Okay, right now we went over the options and we are discussing if we want to re-collaborate. Is it Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day?
Okay.
Is that the 18th? Well,
You've got a board meeting the Thursday before that Tuesday, and this will give you the option of revisiting it that Thursday and making a
Okay.
decision for the Tuesday after Martin
so
Luther Day,
Dr. Flannery is saying we have a board meeting
next Thursday.
next Thursday
Yes.
and we could meet. This would give us an option to revisit this before the board meeting. That way we could take action, correct?
Yes.
At the board meeting.
Okay. So, yes, that's fine. I think that with the numbers the way they are and with the deaths that we've been having in our community, I think it's a good plan to wait till next Thursday and leave everybody where they're at.
Okay. All right.
So virtual starts tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
With the same 4 groups that the board is always allowed to come in.
Does that need to happen, or do we need to stop them groups coming in?
I haven't had any recommendation. The groups are so small, 4 kids or less, it's not been a problem, to my
Any,
knowledge.
any of you guys got anything? Mr. Meredith, Ms. Dellinger, Mr. Hammond?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this is Mitch Meredith here. I heard Mr. Riddle comment that, there's a possibility we may see numbers going up over the next 2 weeks, which would essentially put us at, Martin Luther King Day. And I'm in that camp. I think we are going to see our numbers go up. And, to provide parents and teachers a little bit longer planning time, I would throw out there for your all's consideration, let's just wait until July or February 1. Let's just stay virtual for the month of January and bring it back to 1st of February.
Okay. Mr. Fleener?
I'm with Mr. Meredith on this for the sake of consistency and not knowing what we don't know as far as the numbers spiking. When you watch the news, we're seeing that we're supposed to have the holiday spikes come up in the middle of January. I think we would, I appreciate the plan that you've all put together, but I wonder if we ought to not go virtual to February date to make a choice on February the 1st, or whether or not to continue that or bring back 50% staggered schedule at that time, on February the 8th.
That's what I was gonna say. So February 8th, where did that come from? Is that just a Monday or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that, okay. So would we need to meet, if we did that, would we need to meet Monday before to make that call for everybody, or?
Aren't we meeting that week on February the 1st anyway? I thought
We got a bunch of meetings.
You got a meeting on the 4th.
February 1st is on a Monday.
I'd like to do it on the 1st, that way we got a week's time to prepare what we're gonna do if we go back 50%, staggered
Yeah,
or whatever.
okay. Does that make sense?
Okay, sure.
All right, does anybody want to put that in a motion?
I'll put that in the motion,
Okay,
Which is,
that we would stay virtual until February the 8th, and on February the 1st reconvene to see what the rates are at that time, to see whether or not we can go back to the staggered schedule.
All right, I'm writing this down, reconvene on
The 1st
the 1st.
and decide what we want to do
Hold on
on
a second.
February the 8th.
February, okay. Yes, Ms. Buchanan.
So let me throw this out there. Our regular board meeting is on the 4th, so can we not do that on the 4th? Because that's just 3 days before.
Yeah, that's the point. It don't give us enough time,
The plan
the plan.
for the teachers and for the parents as well.
Okay.
And we need a second on that motion before we
I'll
discuss.
second.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let me ask another question. When will our workshop date be?
26th or 28th, according to what I wrote down.
It would be that week
You're
before.
sort of asking a lot right now.
Yeah, I know.
Workshop needs to be,
It'd be a Tuesday, so you can meet your 5-day deadline.
so meeting is on February the 4th, so it would need to be the 26th.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we do
January
that?
26th.
And I'm just trying to, that's like 2 meetings in a week and one before that. that's a lot there.
Well, I
So-
think we're gonna have a bunch anyway, and that with what we got, what all we got going on during February.
Okay, I'll be quiet now.
Thank you. Okay, now we got her calm down.
I
Yeah,
feel
you're
like,
funny.
I feel like let's stick with the directors.
That's kind of my thought, that's, because they know more about this than we
Let's
do, I
wait
think.
till next week, meet on the so our regular board meeting is on the,
14th.
14th this week, or next week. And let's make a decision on the 14th and see what the numbers are doing.
All right,
That's just my thoughts.
Mr. Chairman?
yes, sir.
When Dr. Flannery was laying out that schedule, there was some interference on the audio on this end, so I'm not sure I've got all those dates.
Okay,
Would you,
you want me
and
to,
I don't know that Annette or Mary Beth could have heard it either, so.
I'll be
Would you
glad
mind
to-
laying those back out again,
Yeah.
Dr. Flannery?
I'll reread it all.
Thank you.
Number one, the school board will monitor county and school system quarantine and infection rates between January 4th, 21 and January 14th. This data will be provided daily by the superintendent. Number two, if the quarantine and infection rates decline appreciably, over that time, the school board will entertain an action allowing students in pre-K to 4 to return to school on a 50% staggered schedule on January 1/19/21. Number three, school board will continue to monitor county and school system quarantine and infection rates under their workshop the week prior to February the 4th, 21 school board meeting. The workshop will likely be held on either January 26th, 21 or the 28th, 21. Number four, if the quarantine and infection rates are in acceptable range, the school board will entertain an action allowing all students pre-K through 12 to return to school on a 50% staggered schedule on February the 8th, 21.
Okay, what was the trigger on,
Hey, this is
was
Anna.
the board going to make the determination for the pre-K
Okay,
four
thanks.
to come back on the 19th, the week before that? Did I hear that correctly?
I'm sorry, I was answering Annette's call. What, Mitch? I'm sorry.
Well, the staff are going to monitor the infection rates, and then the plan would be to bring pre-K through 4 back on 50/50 or a staggered schedule on January the 19th.
That's right.
Who and when would we make, when and who would make that call as to whether they stay virtual or they come back?
We would.
Are we picking them the week before?
Yeah, we would at our meeting.
Okay.
So we're
Yes,
Can you all
ma'am.
hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Okay, we are going to remain virtual until, for right now, until January 19th, correct?
Yes.
next week.
Well,
No.
no, we haven't said that, have we?
No.
That's what we're discussing, Ms. Dellinger, is what we're gonna do. We have a motion right now on the table for Mr. Fleener to stay virtual until February the 8th, which we're gonna vote on in a second, and then we're gonna circle back if that doesn't pass. Which really, we ought to vote on that and get that off the table if we so choose. That's all right.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I think that Ms. Dellinger, myself, and Ms. Buchanan, we were just trying to take Dr. Flannery's timeline and digest it, because it would have an impact, I think, on how we handle this one. So I would ask for your indulgence.
Okay, well, yeah, whatever, however I can help you, I just didn't know. I don't wanna,
So to kind of get back to Ms. Dellinger's line, assuming we stay virtual now, which is questionable, we'd be virtual until the 19th. In our meeting, the week of,
Next week.
well,
next
The
week?
next week,
Yes, sir, the 14th.
the 14th, we'd meet, and depending on infection rates, we'd make the call on whether we bring K4 back on a staggered schedule, everybody else still staying virtual until February 4th. Is that correct?
February 8th.
February the 8th.
February 8th? Okay. Yeah, but we would meet on February 4th. Okay, we would meet on February 4th to make that determination. Okay. Right.
Are y'all clear on that?
Yeah, I understand I do. I understand what Dr. Flannery's proposal is.
Ms. Dellinger, you okay?
I would like to have you repeat Chad's motion. I've not ever heard it. But
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, thank you.
The motion by Mr. Fleener was to stay virtual until February the 8th. And, I can't read my own writing, reconvene on February 1 to determine if that's what we're gonna do.
Okay, I just wanted to make a quick comment
Yes.
since I can talk now. I am glad to see that many of our employees have already gotten their first round of vaccines, the 2 vaccines. That's hopeful. And I think, with Governor Lee determining his, with his session, I'm curious about that too. So I'm inclined to go along with Mr. Fleener, because there's a lot of unknowns right now. And by that time, hopefully, a lot of their employees will have had their second vaccine.
Okay.
And I know a lot of them, that is very important to them. So I think that would be a good thing.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Dellinger. If nobody else, we'll roll call vote on the motion.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If we had started back to school tomorrow, is there any schools that would not have enough staff to run?
Dr. Flannery has stepped out to a commission conference call, and I don't know if anybody else can answer that question. Is there?
Kelly, man.
We have 63 staff that are confirmed.
Miss-
No, wait a second. That was staff and students. We have 25 staff that are confirmed positive, and we have 94 staff that are that's quarantined.
Did you hear that, Ms. Buchanan?
I did, but are they all at one school? So is there a school that we would not be able to staff?
I can give you the numbers for each school, but I can't tell you about the teachers and whether or not they're able to staff them. That'd be more of an administrator decision.
Okay, so we'll wait on Dr. Flannery for that and we can vote. Thank you.
You want me to ask him?
Are you wanting to know that before we vote on that?
No, I'm good. I just wanted to know if we would have an issue if we started back tomorrow.
Okay.
So that's all I wanted to know.
Okay, all right.
All right.
No more, we're gonna vote. Ms. Jennifer?
Mr. Masters?
No.
Mr. Riddle?
No.
Mr. Irvin?
No.
Ms. Buchanan?
Yes.
Ms. Dellinger?
Yes.
Mr. Fleener,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hammond,
Yes.
Mr. Meredith,
Yes.
Mr. Day.
Yes.
Carries.
All right, so we're gonna go virtual until February the 8th. The board will reconvene on the 1st and
Yes.
decide where we're at then. Okay?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Fleener.
The TSSAA regulations that do come out,
Yes.
we're gonna follow them, correct?
You sure have to.
Yeah, I'll be in our workshop
Well, the
next.
thing is, the 2 tickets we have in the middle school.
Yeah,
We said parents before.
yeah,
The TSSAA standard says that you have to be in an immediate household, so they could bring their child instead of being 2 parents. So we will follow into that.
well, let's
agreement.
do it in our 5 o'clock workshop. Does that,
That's fine, I just wondered.
well, it ain't on this agenda, so I hate to,
Okay.
I mean, we're gonna discuss it.
That's fine.
Is that, or do you have a different idea? Am I
No,
wrong?
I just wanted to, I thought we were aligning towards that, so I just wanted to make sure everybody
Yeah.
knew that.
Because I don't know the answer to that. Okay?